Alright, welcome to another edition of JTJU, where we all try to be just a little better at the game of Clash of Clans. I got another attack review screencast, this time episode 19. We're taking a look at the 813 Dragoon, new flavor, we call it the Trident. It's probably more efficient than you've ever seen, but before we take a look at two attacks of that type, let's give a head nod to our backup band, Mr. Ozzy Osbourne with Crazy Train. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, attack 1 of 2 for 813 Trident, and the first question as always is it the right attack? But first let's differentiate between the old 813, which we'll call 813 Deep, and the Trident. The 813 Deep, the old one, needs to have just one AD exposed 2 hops away from the edge. The 813 Trident, on the other hand, because it's going to use less loons for the initial attack and save it for a third flank front, needs to have 2 ADs exposed. In this case, the space has all 3 kind of exposed, so it's a green. Next question is pretty standard for either 813 attack, and that's which AD to blow. In this case, you can pick any because they're all the same depth, but usually you're looking for the one that's deepest, hardest to path to. So they pick 12. It's good. Great. Next decision is where to attack from. We've already blown the one at 12. It was the hardest to reach. This guy, you want to be the second hardest. You're going to then take your dragons and loons against it. Pick 6, that's a green. Then we go cut and deploy, pretty standard. If we're going after 6, we want to cut at 5 and 7 with 1 dragon per. He does it, good, green. Now here's what makes the Trident. It's the holding back of half of the inventory loons, 4 of the 8. Because the AD that you're going after with the dragons is so close to the edge, 2 hops, you can only use 4 and still get it down, and then you can use the other 4 for another attack line. He does it, it's a green, and good timing too. And then depending on your base, you're waiting for one of the last 2 prongs hit. In this case, it'll be the prong number 2 because the last AD fires up. So you want to do a distract king. See how he went down there at 330? Followed by first the inventory loon. Did that wrong because you want to be shielding any of the area of effect attacks, those mines or otherwise that would maybe damage it, wizard towers. Followed by the CC loons. And then you're waiting for the backside there, so you fire in there at 10. You're going after with prong 3, the inventory loons you saved in the beginning, go after that backside cluster of anti-air, typically 2 archer towers or a Tesla, something to that effect that's close to the edge. And that makes it up. So you basically have 3 attacks, the Trident with the 813 that allows you to sometimes take down a max base that would otherwise elude your grasp. Let's take a look at another attack, number 2. Alright, and in the second attack, we'll actually see the inventor, the discoverer of this attack for us, Woo Boy. Actually, the one that coached Brian through that attack in the first one. So we'll see him actually do it on his own right here. Another maxed Town Hall 8 base, 8666. But notice here how the ADs are a little more buried. So usually the Trident's looking for those ADs to be out further, close to the edge, so that you can skimp on the loons with that first attack. This base, not as forgiving. So we're going to see how we kind of push it to the max on this one. But it is still the right attack. Let's give it a green. And with that brings complexities of deciding which AD to blow. You know, I'd probably be looking at the one most covered by Wiz Towers, which would maybe be that one just to the 730 side of the Town Hall, or maybe the one at 12. So it looks like he's going to blow the one at 830. Give him a green. Once you figured that out, you got to decide where your first prong is going to come from. You got the AD at 330 and the one at 1230 remaining. They both present problems in terms of pathing or risks. I'll show you here the yellow is kind of like, you know, where you want to do it. It's a 2-hopper. But the red, if you just miss by a little bit on your clicking, it could totally go 3 hops, which is usually enough time for the AD to whittle down your balloon snipe force to where it becomes ineffective. So it's risky, but let's go ahead and go with 330. I think that's where he goes from his main. Give him a yellow. Now give him a green. Okay, it's a green. Then you're up to your cuts. One at 330, one at 4. That's a green. Then you drop your loons from inventory, half of them. Once the drags engage CC, they do. Green there too. So let's pause it here as we try to decide, or he's trying to decide, where to place his prong 3, because the AD backside is going to actually happen later in the attack. And you can see here there's that group at 230-ish, the Archer Tower and the Tesla. It's interesting because it's behind the high damage storages, which would almost be like a speed bump for the dragons, allowing them to get pounded by those same defenses. So taking those out as the dragons work in is smart. And I don't really see another high risk point for the dragon flow anywhere in the base. So he goes from that spot, which is great. Allows his dragons to not take a lot of damage and keep moving. give him a green. And that leaves us with the last AD. We just want to see the classic King Distract deploy in front, followed by an inventory loon, followed by the CC loons. So there's the King doing the Distract, good there, but then the CC loons come out without any blocker. That's kind of a mistake. I get what he's doing. There's no wizard tower, so he felt like he didn't need the blocker, but then you saw how he got hit by the AoE mine. So always have that one inventory loon leading the way. Will help your loons maybe survive a little bit further into the battle. So I guess that wraps up this attack review of the 813 Trident. Hopefully it helps you guys out. And remember, you use it when you've got 2 ADs within 2 hops of the edge. If you've only got one, you got to go with the 813 old style deep. But this guy works when there's 2. You know the rest of the drill. If you liked what you saw, give me a subscribe, a comment, high-five me in the forums, do something. Otherwise, you got time in your hands. Here's a link to the old style 813 Dragoon, the now codenamed Deep. Or, of course, we've got the sub-spotlight. Stormtroopers will show you a little Let's Play on Shadow of Mordor. If you go 3 minutes in, there's a nice fight scene. Alright, Ozzy, take us out, baby.